Liverpool fans have been closely monitoring the situation surrounding Alexander Isak, the talented Swedish striker who has been at the center of a summer transfer saga that shows no signs of slowing down. With the Premier League transfer window in full swing, the race to secure top talent has intensified, and Isak's potential move to Liverpool has dominated headlines. Yet, as the saga unfolds, Newcastle United manager Eddie Howe has revealed that the Magpies are preparing a last-ditch attempt to persuade the 25-year-old striker to remain at St. James' Park, a move that could significantly impact Liverpool's transfer plans and the broader Premier League landscape. Alexander Isak, the man at the center of the storm. Alexander Isak, who has shown flashes of brilliance since joining Newcastle United, has quickly become one of Europe's most sought-after forwards. At just 25, Isak has combined pace, skill, and finishing ability to establish himself as a key figure in Newcastle's attacking setup. However, his desire to move to Liverpool this summer has sparked tension at St. James' Park, according to reports. The striker has refused to train with his teammates in a bid to push through a transfer, signaling a high-stakes standoff between player ambition and club loyalty. The situation is far from simple. Newcastle fans have been vocal in their frustration, chanting their displeasure at matches and publicly criticizing Isak's approach. For Liverpool, meanwhile, this drama presents both opportunity and risk. Securing a player of Isak's caliber could bolster their attack. But the negotiations and player unrest also come with potential challenges. Eddie Howe's perspective, hope and strategy amid the growing speculation. Newcastle United manager Eddie Howe has maintained a measured stance. Speaking to the media, Howe revealed that the club may make one final attempt to convince Isak to stay. "Yes, I believe there is a way back," Howe explained. "But, of course, discussions and talks would need to take place for that to happen. But, again, that's for another day." Howe's comments suggest that while Newcastle remains committed to retaining Isak if possible, the club is also realistic about the player's ambitions. "Today is Aston Villa, and making sure we perform as well as we can," Howe added. "I understand why your questions are filled with that subject, but it doesn't really help us at this moment." This measured approach highlights Howe's focus on the immediate challenges of Premier League competition while leaving the door open for potential resolution in the transfer saga. The player's perspective. Isak in control. From Isak's viewpoint, the situation is clear. He is determined to pursue a move to Liverpool. Reports indicate that the striker has been absent from training sessions, signaling his intent to force through a transfer. Howe acknowledged this dynamic, noting, "As I sit here now, I don't know that he will return. Alex will control that. You want to see him with the squad. You want to see him happy and enjoying his football. He is contracted to us. He is here. So for me, that him training alone is an unfortunate situation." This statement underscores the delicate balance between club authority and player agency in modern football. While Newcastle holds Isak under contract, the striker's preferences and career ambitions clearly play a pivotal role in shaping his future. Liverpool's pursuit of Isak, therefore, is not just a negotiation with Newcastle, it is also a dialogue with the player himself, whose willingness to join Anfield could ultimately determine the outcome. Implications for Newcastle United. Isak depart, Newcastle will face a challenging period of adjustment. The club has already started considering alternatives, including potential targets to fill the void left by their star striker. Eddie Howe's tactical plans, which rely heavily on Isak's attacking prowess, may need to be recalibrated, particularly as the Premier League season begins. Moreover, the situation has wider implications for squad morale. Player unrest, particularly involving a high-profile figure, can have ripple effects across a team. Howe's challenge is not just to manage the transfer negotiation, but also to maintain harmony within the squad, ensuring that the remaining players remain focused on performance rather than speculation. Liverpool's ambitions. The Reds' perspective. For Liverpool, Alexander Isak represents a significant potential boost to their attacking options. The club has been actively seeking reinforcements this summer, particularly in the forward line, to complement established stars. Isak's versatility, goal-scoring ability, and experience at the top level make him an attractive target for manager Jurgen Klopp, who has a history of integrating high-caliber talents into his system. Securing a however, is not without its risks. The player's ongoing standoff with Newcastle raises questions about readiness, fitness, and adaptation. Liverpool will need to ensure that any transfer is managed carefully to avoid disrupting team chemistry or creating additional tension within the squad. Transfer window dynamics. The summer transfer window is a hyper-sure environment where timing, negotiation, and strategy converge. For Liverpool, the pursuit of Isak must be balanced against competing priorities, budget considerations, and the need to finalize deals before the window closes. For Newcastle, holding firm or negotiating a sale requires tactical finesse, as the club seeks to maximize value while maintaining competitive integrity on the pitch. This dynamic creates a fascinating scenario. Liverpool and Newcastle are engaged in a delicate dance, each seeking to achieve their objectives without compromising broader goals. The outcome of this saga could influence not only the clubs involved, but also the Premier League's competitive landscape. Fan reactions and public sentiment. Newcastle fans have been vocal throughout the saga, expressing frustration at Isak's refusal to train and his apparent focus on leaving the club. Chants at matches, social media commentary, and public statements reflect a passionate fan base unwilling to tolerate perceived disloyalty. Liverpool supporters, on the other hand, have largely welcomed the prospect of acquiring Isak. The striker's potential to enhance Liverpool's attacking threat has generated excitement, with fans envisioning how he could fit into Klopp's system and contribute to a campaign aimed at domestic and European success. Potential outcomes at this stage. Several outcomes are possible. 1. Isak stays at Newcastle if Howe's last-ditch efforts succeed. Isak could return to the squad and continue contributing to Newcastle's campaign. This would stabilize the team but likely leave Liverpool seeking alternative targets. 2. Isak moves to Liverpool. A successful transfer would represent a coup for Liverpool, potentially transforming their attacking options. For Newcastle, this would necessitate a rapid adjustment, both tactically and in terms of recruitment. 3. Prolonged standoff. If negotiations stall, Isak may continue to be absent from training and matches, creating ongoing tension. This scenario could impact Newcastle's season start and complicate Liverpool's planning conclusion. A saga that captures attention, the Alexander Isak transfer saga, exemplifies the complexities of modern football, where player ambition, club strategy, and fan sentiment intersect. Eddie Howe's willingness to make a final attempt to retain the striker demonstrates the club's desire to find resolution, while Liverpool's pursuit highlights the competitive nature of elite football for fans, analysts, and stakeholders. The coming weeks will be crucial. Every development from training reports to transfer negotiations will be scrutinized, debated, and dissected. Liverpool supporters will be hoping for a positive outcome. Newcastle fans will be bracing for change, and Alexander Isak himself remains at the heart of the story, his decisions shaping the next chapter in this high-stakes drama. Our channel for in-depth coverage, expert analysis, and the latest updates on the Alexander Isak saga and Liverpool's transfer pursuits. Make sure to subscribe to stay ahead of the news and never miss a beat on the Premier League's most compelling stories.